Ed just mentioned, after all the talk about getting people onto the healthcare.gov website, the bigger problem may still be getting them actually covered. Mark Thiessen's with me tonight. He's a fellow at the American Enterprise Institute and a former speechwriter for President George W. Bush. I mean, that's what I'm like. Shouldn't the paying part be the easiest, most seamless part of the process, Mark?
Well, you would think in a private sector that the business would want to get your money. But again, we're not dealing with the private sector. We're dealing with government. But this is the big problem. Senator Cornyn is absolutely right. They continue to lie about this thing. Just this weekend, they said the website is working with, this is a quote, private sector velocity and effectiveness. They actually said that. Unless Amazon.com works 90% of the time unless it's under maintenance, doesn't transmit your information when you make a purchase, and has an online waiting room where you can park until they have capacity for you to shop, it's not working with private sector velocity and effectiveness. And just take, for example, that 90% figure, okay? They said it works 90% of the time when it's not under maintenance. What does that mean? I mean, they don't say how long it's under maintenance. So they might as well just said it works when it doesn't work. It's a meaningless figure.
Well, the other thing with Amazon is when you go on, you certainly never get your Christmas gifts if you don't actually pay. You need to pay. They don't, in the private sector, they don't, be quiet, Judge, it's not your segment yet. You have to pay before they'll give you the product. And, you know, we're laughing tonight, but the truth is, Mark, people literally could be showing up at doctor's offices and hospitals at some point in the new year only to then find out they don't have coverage because they thought they paid and they didn't, or they couldn't pay and something else happened.
Well, it's hard to pay when you haven't actually purchased an insurance policy. I mean, part of the problem with this is that they're selling Potemkin insurance policies. On one, they've fixed the front end, which is the user interface, where people go on and actually go on the website,
well,
and so people are going and making purchases. Sort of fixed, yeah, well, okay, let's give them credit that they fixed it, but it's still crashing a little bit. But the back end that transmits the information to insurers isn't working. So it's basically what they've done is they've built a Lexus with a lawnmower engine under the hood. It doesn't go anywhere. And so you've got these insurers getting calls, deluged with calls from consumers saying, hey, I want to talk to you about the insurance I just bought. And they're like, we don't have any record of you buying insurance. Or we have partial information. It's a Potemkin insurance policy. So how can they pay for that if they haven't actually signed them up for anything?
How is this going to manifest itself, though? Because the administration claims, look, this is not a law problem. It is a website problem. And as soon as we get this website up and running and every day we make improvements, people are going to see the wonderful products that we have to offer. They're going to run to the websites. They're going to buy the product. And that will solve itself. That will solve all of these problems.
Yeah, that's not the problem. The problem is the law. Look, the problem is they've got 5.6 million people who have lost their insurance that they have to sign up in 23 days in order to not have millions without coverage on January 1. That's 240,000 a day for the next 23 days. Even if the website worked perfectly, that's almost impossible. Then next year, you've got 50 million people who are going to lose their employer-based coverage, either have it dropped entirely or have it altered beyond recognition. So if people are mad about 5.5 million now, how are they going to feel about 50 million next year? And then Obama's lost his trust and credibility. I mean, it's fixing a website will not repair the bond of trust that he's broken with the American people.
All right. Well, we're going to have the other side with Ben LeBolt on that issue coming up. Mark, thank you.